All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to today's CPD. Today we have in our midst Mr. Atafin, who is going to take us through the making of a world-class professional. So before I get into, or Mr. Finn starts his presentation, I would like to read a little bit about his background for us to know who we are coming to listen to this afternoon or this evening. All right, so we have with us, Mr. Martin Atafin, who is currently the Chief Executive Officer of AfriConsult, a management consulting firm that delivers solutions in management consulting, development consulting, and SME consulting. He has over 27 years of experience as a management consultant. He is also the Chief Executive Officer of Brassica Pay, a trending fintech company licensed by the Bank of Ghana as a payment processor. Mr. Atafin started his career in technology as a systems engineer with Network Computer System, now known as Ghana.com. He subsequently joined Deloitte West Africa Consulting, where he worked with high net worth clients such as AngloGold Ashanti in Obuasi, Securities and Exchange Commission, and Nigeria Electricity and Power Authority in Abuja, Nigeria, as well as the National Social Security Authority in Zimbabwe, just to mention a few. After working for many years with Deloitte West Africa Consulting, he left to Kenya to join the East African practice. His responsibilities included providing direction for human capital, information and communications technology, and strategy and operations. Prior to setting up AfriConsult, he worked as the Chief Operating Officer for Stratcom Africa, where he was involved in several stakeholder communication strategy and projects, including strategic projects. He is a certified IFC TMPA trainer, that is training, monitoring, performance, and assessment trainer, and has facilitated several training programs through the AfriConsult Training Academy, such as customized soft skills training in leadership, coaching, employee engagement, team building, supervisory skills, sales, territory management, etc. He is also a certified MBTI facilitator, that is a certified Myers-Briggs type indicator facilitator. Dear GAN members, we are honored to have Mr. Atafin in our midst, and he will take us through this topic, the making of a world-class professional. Mr. Atafin, you are welcome, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If you don't mind, okay, good. I can now share my screen. Thank you so much.
No.
Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, please, you can. We can.
Okay, great. Thank you for the opportunity, gang members. And I believe I will start immediately talking about the making of a world-class professional. I don't have to go through this because you've spoken extensively about me. So I'll just go straight and start talking about the slide. I have an initial slide, which I always present when I'm training, and for good reason. It says that it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows.
In over 100 years.
It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. So a lot of the time, when we are going to talk about a subject that pretty much people have experienced already, and sometimes it's difficult to let people appreciate it. But what it is that we are only going through a process of helping you to climb the competency ladder. Now, what's the competency ladder? It has 4 steps. The first step is unconscious incompetence. The second step is conscious incompetence. The third step is conscious competence. And the last step is unconscious competence. So let me explain the 4 steps of the competency ladder. The first step is where you are in a situation where you don't know, but you probably don't know that you don't know. And therefore, you are unconsciously incompetent. But whilst you go on, you start getting knowledge and concepts of things that you thought you don't know, and then you become consciously incompetent, meaning that you know that you don't know. That is the next step. But the next step from there is once you know that you don't know, you now start seeking for knowledge. And that is what brings you to the conscious competence stage. Because when you are looking for a certain particular knowledge, when you find out that you don't know, you are able to find where you can find that knowledge, and then you become competent in it. But where we all want to get to is the unconscious competence stage, where you do things without even, you do things unconsciously. It's like driving. When you're driving you're going towards a junction, unconsciously you turn the indicator on, your leg goes to the brake even before you can think, because it becomes unconscious for you. So whatever knowledge that is put before you for you to acquire, we want you to be able to imbibe it enough until you get to the stage where you are unconsciously competent. Again, the reason why you're going through the CPD is to update yourself. So you may have some previous knowledge, but maybe, just maybe, the previous knowledge is now old-fashioned. That there's actually a better way to do the things that you thought you could do. So just using this analogy of the old crow, there was this story about a crow that was thirsty. There was a jar that had water. The beak could not go in, so he picked up pebbles, put in the jar. The water came up, and the crow was able to drink. But what will the modern crow do? The modern crow will find a straw and just drink. Don't go and look for pebbles from anywhere. So basically, things have changed. And so you will probably have to continue to update yourself so that you change with that. Still talking about the CPD and education. William Butler Yeats says that education is not the filling of a pail, but is the lighting of a fire. So it is not a check the box thing. The whole idea is for whatever we are going to discuss, light a fire in your belly so that you can step out and work towards becoming a world-class professional. Also to let you know that it is helping you to help you to build a foundation that you'll be able to dig a foundation that you can build yourself on. It is said that the deeper your foundation, the higher you can build. So if you are able to make sure that you have a strong foundation. You can even build higher and higher on top of that. So we are going to consider 3 key modules. The first module will be bridging the gap. Is there a gap between the current professional and the world-class professional? How do we bridge that gap? And then the second module will be the world-class professional versus the average professional. And then the last module will be to look at the successful world-class professional. So let's look at bridging the gap. Let's talk about who is a professional. What is a professional? I mean, professional, basically, you can say is relating to a person's work. Typically, it may even require special training. We have professional accountants, professional electricians, professional boxers, professional basketball players. So when you talk about someone who's a professional, we are looking at someone who, so to speak, is making his bread and butter from a certain specific job, a certain specific profession, a professional driver, etc. That is what we refer to as a professional. But let me take it a step further. In most cases, there are certain jobs, there are certain, I'll call them professions, that you can decide to follow that cue or follow that path. And therefore, in order for you to be called a professional in that space, you will have to be certified so that you can be able to work according to the standards of that profession. So now you can have a professional doctor, a professional lawyer, a professional accountant, and a professional engineer who have their own standards that they go by. But you could also have a professional driver. He's a driver only because he's a professional driver only because that's his bread and butter. That's all he does. Or maybe a professional footballer, or maybe a professional boxer. And that may not require you to go through a certain certified course before you become a professional footballer or a boxer. But moving it a step further, let's look at who a true professional is. And I will look at it from these perspectives. True professional possesses the right aptitude, the right attitude with strong values. So when you look at aptitude, we're actually talking about knowledge and skill. And that is pretty much guaranteed. If I am told that Martin is a professional architect, I expect that he would have gone through school and learned how to become an architect. But is that enough? Maybe not. To be a true professional, the attitude part is essential. In fact, we say that the aptitude part is only 25%, and the attitude, the way you relate with people, the way you go about things, is 75%. Because the aptitude is given. You've gone through school, but attitude might not be taught. And what is even worse is that it is also dependent on the values. And you know that values are developed from the environment with which you grow, or what you have experienced, etc. So the combination of the three will make you a true professional. And there are other 3 areas that we can think about to make you a true professional. You say it is the foundation, I beg your pardon. It is the foundation for everything we do as a professional. Number 1, mastery. Mastery, I can tie it to aptitude. As a professional, or as professionals, we undertake everything we do to the highest possible standards. So if you say you're a professional, you can shorten it to say if you say you are a pro, then my expectation of you is to undertake whatever you do to the highest possible standards. And I want to underline highest possible standards. But not only that, it is combined with the chemistry, how you relate with people. So you see that mastery is looking at aptitude, chemistry is looking at the attitude. As professionals, we relate well to others that such that they seek to associate themselves with us. Because if you're a professional, you don't have the right attitude, you don't have the right chemistry, and nobody wants to come to you to seek professional work or professional advice from you, then you stay at home and eat your professionalism. But it's not only just these two. What tops it all is the delivery. You have to deliver to the needs of those who are looking up to you as a professional with quality and risk management and communication to ensure that the delivery is top-notch to the highest possible standard. That is what we refer to as a true professional. I would want us all to think about this and just reflect to see if this is what drives us on a daily basis. Okay, so now let's talk about world class. Because we want to be moved towards becoming world-class professionals. Now that we understand what world-class professional is, what about world-class? World-class means outstanding, ranking among the best in the world. So what we are saying is, you might be good at what you do. You might be the best in the in the Kaswa area, but being the best in Kaswa area is not enough. In fact, being the best in Accra is not enough. You might be ranking among the best in Ghana, and everybody's looking for you. But that's where it ends, in Ghana. And you could be ranking among the best in West Africa. But what it means is that you're good. Togolese think you're great. Cote d'Ivoire thinks you're great. Nigeria thinks you're great. But that's where it ends. So ranking among the best in West Africa is not good enough. Ranking among the best, even in Africa, might not be good enough. But when you can rank yourself as a professional among the best in the world, then we can start talking. And it's interesting. It is possible. Most often, the reality is that we, as professionals, we have a way of doing things. Our current performance. But then when we start looking at whether we can rank among the best in the world, looking at global performance, you can find out that, whoops, there's a great chasm or a great gap between the way we deliver currently and the expectation of a world-class performance. Means that there's a bridge which we will have to close. There's a gap that we have to bridge, I beg your pardon. There's a gap that we have to bridge. But what causes this gap? Because the point is, I don't know, there's a lecture I went to where the lecturer says we all have the same 2 hands, 2 legs, the same size brain, we all have the same head. Why will the world-class one be bigger and better? And why will there be a gap between our current performance and the world-class performance? What makes it difficult to bridge this gap? I'll give you a few examples. In the first place, a lot of professionals in our space have a low self-esteem. they do not think that they are good enough to do great things. Because of that, potential remains locked in or locked up. The potential is there, you can't use it. I remember whilst I was growing up, and I don't know how many of you have got that same experience. My parents had some nice crockery, cutlery, everything. The cutlery was arranged in a suitcase. It was there. The plates were arranged in a box. They were there. But we were still eating in plastic plates till we grew up. Nobody ever used it. Eventually, we're asking, who's ever going to be using these things? Those things are there for us to use, but we never used them. The potential was locked up. That way, you do not even utilize opportunities. Opportunities will come and they will go because the potential is locked up. In other situations, we feel neglected, and then we are hiding in a corner somewhere, everybody in their one corner. In fact, nobody even remembers that you are there. You're a professional, you have great ideas, but you are neglected. Or maybe you're stuck in the comfort zone, in your comfort zone. You know, if you're stuck in your comfort zone, you normally tend to resist change. You don't want to move. You don't want anything to come and disturb you in your comfort zone. You just want to go a day at a time. Stick to what is known. Scared to try new things. Finding it difficult to adapt to change. That is what the comfort zone means. When you're stuck in your comfort zone, you can never grow. What about those who are dependent on others? I mean, even professionals in Ghana, there are a lot of them who do that. They're waiting for others to feed them or give them direction, tell them what to do. They're waiting for others to do things for them or make things happen for them. There are a lot of professionals who do not take ownership. And then the others that blame everybody else but themselves. It doesn't matter what the situation is. All they'll come back to you to say is, it wasn't me. So they'll blame everybody else. Then there are others, or maybe who have gotten some knocks whilst they were growing in their career. They have been bashed along the line. So because of that, I want to stay in my one corner and then retire peacefully. I don't want to do any new things and get bashed again. So it keeps people from growing. So their self-esteem continues to be locked up, packed somewhere, which we need to resolve. But by the way, self-esteem, there's no instant cure. It's not like you can take 2 teaspoons and then you start feeling better. It will take time. So the best is to reset your mind and start building yourself, building yourself towards what you want to do or where you want to go. Just a second. Yeah. So to become the best in the world, it will require 3 things. That makes it very simple. One is to focus. That means identify what you want to do, what you want to be, where you want to go. You want to be world class. It is possible. You can focus on it. But then when you focus, you need to ensure that you have enough discipline to work towards your focus. So discipline is essential. Discipline is essential. And then when you make sure that you have enough discipline, the discipline is for you to work on the actions that you have put together. So when you focus, you have a strategy, you have a plan, you have to have the discipline and you have to act on it. But by the way, if you have a little, a little focus, not quite sure where you want to go, but you have an idea. And well, yeah, I also want to do this in future. I want to do my ACCA. Yeah, But hey, if you want to do your ACCA, you need to be disciplined to put it together, to put yourself together, register for it, go to school or do some training for it, and then go and write the exams. But if you're only a little bit disciplined, you're registered, but you go for lectures today, you don't go tomorrow, or you always don't do what you are supposed to do. You only do a little bit of the action. You don't necessarily try hard. What it makes you. The outcome is that you will be a mediocre professional, an average professional. Now that has been one of my key challenges in our environment. A lot of us, a lot of professionals are happy with mediocrity. So we are all mediocre guys. Even if we can, we won't even worry. So far as we get food to eat, breakfast, lunch, and supper to eat, we are fine. That way, we keep becoming average and average and average and more average. That cannot make us world-class professionals. To become the best in the world, to become world-class, it requires focus, discipline, and action. You have to choose whether you deeply and passionately, where you deeply and passionately want to be, or what you want to be recognized as. And then you have to exercise extreme discipline in pursuing that plan. And then you have to apply massive action. That is the only way for you to become a world-class professional, as we are discussing right now. You need to be able to have a strategy and plan towards it. So to become the best in the world, it requires, I beg your pardon, it really requires planning. And you need to plan and put strategies together. Now, having looked at that, let's look at, again, what gives us what the difference is between the world-class professional and the average professional. The average professionals do not focus on their plan. Some do not even have a plan at all. I went to school, I've learned to be an engineer, I've gotten I've gotten a job that I'm doing, and that is it. When they execute things, they usually procrastinate, and the result is often mediocre. Yeah. So yeah, I'm part of the team that is putting this road together from N1 to whatever. The average professional is not focused on making that road something that will impact the world. The world-class professional has a vision. A world-class professional always has an action plan. He has a goal without a timeline. A goal without a timeline is just a dream. So he has a goal and he's associated a timeline to it. In fact, to be a world-class professional, if you want to target being one, you have to develop your own personal development plan. So your PDP should be working you towards becoming a world-class professional or whatever you want to be. It is when you follow your PDP that will help you to take steps towards what you desire to be. So whilst a world-class professional sees the glass as half full, the average professional sees it as half empty. The world-class professional will look at the glass and say, oh, Charlie, The glass is half full, small, we can fill it up. Let's keep going, encouraging each other. Grateful that you even have a glass. The average professional is looking at it and say, this glass, why wasn't it full? I don't even want to look at it again. Let's pour it away and keep going. A world-class professional embraces challenges as learning and growth opportunities. So he sees a challenge, he knows we can grow with it. He appreciates little things and grateful for assignments that have been given, the companies you're working for, the presence of special people in their lives. Meanwhile, the average professional is seeing the challenges as problems, complaining all the time, looks at everything with a half empty glass lens. The world-class professional is grateful for things that have come his way. In fact, gratitude gives motivation. So the gratitude gives them motivation and joy to pursue bigger things. Again, the world-class professional is creative. It's often thinking of new ways of doing and better ways of doing things. Also praising others about their successes and hard work. And they don't look at other people's winnings as a competition. They look at it as, we've all won. But the average professional will believe that, for someone to win, somebody else has to lose. So there's always a fight. You pull the person down so that I can do better. The average professionals are typically confrontational. They are petty and they are envious. So it makes it difficult for them to be creative. You will always have to think of new ways and better ways of doing things. Creativity is part of becoming a world-class professional. Again, world-class professionals manages risk. They will take the risk and manage it. They understand the need to go beyond processes and then sometimes go with a gut feeling. World-class professionals know when to take a leap of faith, especially for a meaningful cause. But with the average professional, they avoid risk. They don't tolerate deviations from any rules. You have to toe the line. You have to follow whatever has been laid down for us to do. If we change it and it's going to be difficult, then we won't do it at all. So taking a leap of faith is out of the picture. But a leap of faith is what will take you from where you are to where you want to be. Are you courageous enough to be able to take that jump? Sometimes people have to take those leaps of faith in order to get certain things done. I recall when I wanted to more or less leave all this Deloitte stuff behind and start something for myself. I mean, I was close to getting to the point where, look, if I left Deloitte, I'll go away with some substantial money, but I was thinking it's going to be too late if I have to still continue in the practice that I have. I just had to take that leap of faith and then start up something. Incidentally, one of the guys who is a partner at Deloitte yesterday called me yesterday and was asking if he could stop what he's doing to come and join to move on that. That means that those who continued are now seeking for ways that they can get out of the practice. Take a leap of faith. So world-class professional focus on being, whilst the average professional focuses on having. So world-class professional is focusing on, I am a professional accountant, a professional doctor, etc. The average professional is looking at titles and things like that. So they're not focused on being the best accountant or being the best in the areas in the spaces that they have chosen to be in. Meanwhile, the world-class professional also sees themselves as responsible. They have an ownership mentality, and therefore they take up everything as if it's theirs and run with it. That makes them want to make sure that whatever they are working on, they can move it to the highest possible standards. But the average professional always has a victim mentality. But this is not my job. These other people have to do it. Why is it that I've come in at this time? Somebody who came in long ago, you didn't give him the work today, you're giving it to me. In one of the organizations I worked with, my boss then had a typical victim mentality. He always thought that somebody was against him. Because of that, the organization wasn't growing. With that victim mentality, you could end up, you kill yourself. Because even when you have all the tools available for you, you are expecting somebody to do everything for you. With a victim mentality, you're always thinking it is somebody's fault. It is his fault. Oh, it's their fault. It's not me. It wasn't me. So to become a world-class professional, you need to break out of the victim mentality. Release yourself from the clutches and walk with your own legs. And you'll be surprised how far that will take you. So a world-class professional is also one that is eager to learn, always looking for something new to learn. What I like about this slide is it talks about infinite curiosity. So infinite curiosity is another secret to the world class. You have to keep looking. You have to keep finding. You have to keep learning. You have to keep at it. And you keep discovering things that will help to elevate you. So you explore new ways of doing things. When new problems arrive, you have a way of handling it. Now, the average professional, they always stick to what they know. You cannot shift from it. No, this is how things are done. This is how we have been doing it long ago, and this is how it will be done. If you don't do it this way, hey, we'll be in trouble. You know, look at how this country fought and fought and fought before lawyers could be trained from somewhere else, apart from the one specific tunnel that lawyers are supposed to be trained from. Even I think the battle is still on. So we have professionals who say, this is how we've done it, and we cannot shift from it. You're spoiling the tradition. But hey, the world has changed. It has evolved. It has changed so much in recent past. I mean, who would have thought that if you need a ride from one place to the other, you will only have to use your phone to get that ride? Nobody did. But then, you know, even 10 years after that, we still want to stick to one way of training our lawyers. So all I'm saying is, it is average professionals who stick to what they know and refuse to work for new knowledge. They can solve typical problems, but when new problems come, they'll be lost. So world-class professionals choose growth. Average professionals choose a fixed mindset. In fact, we say they choose fear. They are afraid that something will happen, so let's stick to what we are doing. But a world-class professional will choose growth instead of fear. So, with all that we are talking about, what would a successful world-class professional, what is required of a successful world-class professional? Meaning that, how do we measure success? Meaning that when you put that your personal development plan together, you will need to constantly measure it to see if you are succeeding. So how do you measure the success? I give you some tips about requirements for successful world-class professional. Number one, adaptability. You need to be open to new ideas. You need to be able to adapt. You need to build new experiences. Number two, you have to have an achievement orientation. Push yourself towards growth. Move from one step to the other. When you develop your personal development plan, you would have put in different goals and different steps. You need to follow those goals and follow steps and take them away as you achieve with every next step. Self-efficacy, confidence. You have to be confident on your own. Confidence is important too. You have to be confident in your own ability to be able to do stuff, to succeed in handling things. You know, there are lots of people who have the potential, but they're not confident enough to step out to show that I have the potential and I can do this. It's important as a professional. In fact, some time ago, there was a cliche that went as empty barrels makes the most noise. But believe me, right now, even if the barrel is full, you better make enough noise, because if you're a professional and you don't make enough noise, nobody will see you, nobody will find you. And then you need also to have this interpersonal competence. You need to know how to relate to people. You need to know how to relate to people at the bottom, people at the top, people on the sides. It's very crucial. And then you need to also have attraction to work, meaning maintaining a positive view of your own job in spite of the stresses and stuff that you can. Look, if somebody sits aside and sees how you are confident in your work, you are enjoying it, that person is also motivated to say, I can actually work with this person. Or I actually admire the way this professional does his work. You know, the professional's pride in his own work is what makes other people confident that this person knows what he's doing. And then you need to be emotionally mature. A lot of issues that come with delivery even is based on emotional immaturity. The person is good at what he does, but he cannot relate and is not mature enough to be able to speak to problems that came up that needed to be resolved. So let's look at it this way. Let's do some maths. Assuming we say that success is equal to IA, this is not AI, IA plus AA multiplied by EQ. I'll break it down for you. Where IA is inborn ability. What is inborn ability? Your talents, your potential, your gifts. These ones, they were given to you when you were born. You already have them in you. But inborn ability is IA. And then AA is acquired ability. That is what you have learned and experiences you have grown through. So you see that every human being, you are born with some potential and some talent. You go to school, you work. So you acquire some knowledge, you acquire skills, you acquire experiences. So whatever you're made of is IA plus AA. Inborn ability plus acquired ability. So we are saying that success is inborn ability plus the acquired ability. That is all the knowledge that you have in your in you. What do you do that? How do you succeed? You multiply it by your emotional intelligence. So let us put it in another way. If emotional intelligence is 0, EQ is 0, that means that IA plus AA multiplied by EQ is equal to 0. So that means if EQ is 0, success will be equal to 0. All I'm saying is, without EQ, you cannot succeed. Bottom line. But whatever percentage you put at EQ, it will then now multiply it by AA and IA. A lot of the time I say that there is nothing like luck. Luck is when preparedness meets with opportunity. So luck is when you are able to put together your IA and your AA. And then you multiply it by your EQ. And then when the opportunity comes, boom, you're successful. Which means that you need to build yourself. You need to take action. You need to be disciplined. Six-pack, they don't get it like that. That's why a lot of Ghanaian professionals are walking around with one pack. Six-pack, you will have to be disciplined. You have to be focused, disciplined, and then you have to take action. So when you take action, then eventually you can build your six-pack. So to be successful, you will need to explore your strengths. Where is your IA? Where is your AA? And what EQ do you have? You need to explore them. Identify what skills you have. Identify what potential you have. Identify what gifts you have. And then with the experiences that you've been through school, through work experience, and then the knowledge that you have acquired or keep acquiring, that is when we will see your strengths. So you definitely need to find out, where are your pearls? Where are your gifts? What gifts do you have? What strengths do you have? What assets do you have? It's important to know them so you can apply them, you can use them. And so that you can also help to develop them. You also need to find your edge. Your edge. Take the giraffe, for example. The giraffe, because of its tall neck and its height, that tall neck is a distinguishing factor. So you will never see a giraffe grazing on the ground like the goat does. No way. The giraffe will go to the tall trees and be grazing from those tall trees, because apart from him, who else can get there? Maybe a few monkeys will try, but they will even not get to where the giraffe's neck will get. So you have to play to your strengths. Use your strengths and assets to the best advantage of yourself and your organization. But you also have to know your weaknesses and your strengths and your shortcomings, I beg your pardon, so that you can be able to learn how to deal with your weaknesses and your shortcomings. You should be able to face up to them. What did they tell us when we were in school as kids? Face your fears. Face them, manage them, and make sure that you overcome them. You know, a lot of the time, look, there are people who would run away from the weaknesses. They will run away from shortcomings. But you know, it doesn't matter how far you run away from it. It will come back and haunt you. It will come back and catch up with you. At the same time, you should have realistic expectations of yourself. Knowing your strengths, knowing your capabilities, knowing your weaknesses and your shortcomings, you should know that this is how far I can do my stuff, and this is what I can do at this time. So once you're at it, you need to be able to keep doing a check and getting feedback. You know, A thermometer gives you feedback. A scale gives you feedback. Scale gives you feedback of your weight. The thermometer gives you feedback of the temperature. So you have to check the temperature of what you do. Get feedback. Feedback is information that helps us to know whether we are on target or we are performing effectively. So get feedback from people and see, how well are you doing? Am I building my profession well? What kind of feedback would you want to give me? How do I do this? What's the best way of doing that? Let's talk about attitude. They say that attitude is like a flat tire. Is like a tire. A poor attitude is like a flat tire. Even if you are intelligent and you are strong, meaning that you have a strong engine, if your tire is flat, you would not go in anywhere. So it's important to have the right attitude towards your own job and the people you're working with. So a positive attitude is the air in the wheels, that which enables them to get ahead and make progress in their work in the other areas of their lives. So I'll give you three key attitudes that we can talk about. One is ownership. Taking ownership of what you have to do. A world-class professional, you remember, we mentioned it earlier on, takes ownership. The second is optimism. There is, what's his name? Nelson Mandela is the one who said that there is no benefit in playing small. Be optimistic. Know that it can be done and look for ways that will get it done. Focus, discipline, and act on it. And then resilience. Even as you keep growing, things will come your way. If you are not resilient, you will not be able to survive. If you are not resilient, you will not be able to survive. So you will survive or thrive depending on the resilience that you may have. So it's important for you to build that resilience, to build the resilience. The other thing that we need to talk about is etiquette, professional etiquette. So what is etiquette? Etiquette is a code of behavior that helps you to delineate expectations, according to certain standards, according to certain norms. So as a professional, there's a certain expectation of you. So far as you are being identified as a pro, that expectation is there. So you should be able to focus on looking at business ethics, business etiquette, I beg your pardon. It helps you to build professionalism and develop a polished image and instill perception, and it helps you to develop a trustworthy relationship. Okay. So with business etiquette, there are a couple of areas that you can look at. In fact, interestingly, I'm starting with email etiquette. Why am I starting with that? Let's look at it from a communication perspective. I mean, one example I can give you is the fact that it is from the professional side, it is unprofessional not to respond to emails that you receive. In fact, some people think it's downright rude. So when you receive emails as a professional, and in the least, respond to it and say, thank you for your mail, I've received it, I'll get back to you, at this time or that time. And when that time comes, you have to get back to that person. Let's keep that
Hello, Mr. Tapin. Please, we can't hear you now.
Maybe it's off.
Hello.
So I was talking about meeting etiquette, and I wanted to give an indication that when you set up a meeting or you are supposed to attend a meeting for a certain time, you need to get there at least 10 minutes before, or at the minimum 5 minutes before the meeting starts. That is free advice for you. In fact, there is a rule that we refer to as the rule of 15. If you think that you're going to be late, by the time it's 15 minutes before the time, according to the rule of 15 minutes before the time, if you're going to be late, call the person you're meeting with to say, I'm going to be late. So please, let's agree on a time that I can come in. You don't wait till the time is up before you make a call and call the person to say, I'm sorry I'm late, but what can we do? So there are certain schedules of rules that we can consider in this space. There's a rule of 15. In fact, because of the kind of traffic and stuff we have in Accra, for meetings, I'd rather indicate, call it the rule of 30. If it is supposed to be an online meeting, then you can make it a rule of 15, because then you give the person also time to reschedule and do other things that they want to do. So please, you can bear that in mind. Now, another thing that makes you successful as a professional is communication. It has a major role in your career success. It's important that you always make sure you create a two-way communication between yourself and the people you deal with. You have to be able to share your thoughts and opinions openly without any fear, or also and expect the same from the other side. If you are able to communicate openly and you are able to communicate strongly and brazenly, others can see you as a real professional. You also need to listen in order to understand. A lot of situations where the people you are talking to, they are clearly not listening to you. All they want is for you to listen to them. Give the other person the opportunity to talk. Listen to the person, understand the person, and then you can give that person feedback. So I've spoken about relationships earlier on and saying that, look, this world is even getting smaller and smaller. We are all really interconnected. We are all really interconnected. So some time back, we will say, what you know, I mean, success depends on who you know. But at this point, we'd rather say, success is dependent not only on who you know, it is what you know multiplied by who you know. So the more people you know, the more people you have a good relationship with, they are the one who will carry the knowledge that you know across. So with relationships, you need to show respect and also try and gain respect of others. You need to build a trust relationship with other people. You need to enhance your understanding between yourself and the others, and you need to build and earn their trust. So build a trust with them, earn their trust as well. Also, you need to develop and find a good way of handling conflicts. Conflicts will come on your way to being a world-class professional. it would not clearly not be a smooth, straightforward way. There will be conflict. So you need to be able to learn the ability of dealing with and handling conflicts that may come your way. Again, who's your role model? Who motivates you? Or what motivates you? In fact, you have to have somebody that you look up to so that you can be able to build yourself towards who that person is and the reason why you selected that person as your role model. You also need to appreciate the culture of teaming. You know, no man is an island, they say. So you might be good at what you do, but there are others who are also good at what they do. So in fact, they will all, when others bring their strengths into the picture, that is when you will find that you will all be able to succeed. Now let's talk about time. Management of time. That has been a major challenge for the success of people and the way their career goes. Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I don't understand how or where we have brought ourselves to. At this point, internationally, Ghana is always laughed at because of the way we manage our time. I've been to South Africa, I've been to the UK, and then these are white guys laughing at us saying that, oh, they've heard of the Ghana maybe time. And when they came to Ghana, people take their time to go for meetings, take their time to go to places. In fact, when you need to go somewhere at 2 o'clock, they leave the office at 2. And these are guys who are not Ghanaians who are telling me this is what happens in Ghana. You know, we don't have to be proud of it. I'm thinking that if every one of you who is on the platform today decides that if I'm going to be part of any function, I'll be there 10 minutes before the time. Trust me, we in our own small way will be changing it. And believe me, if you want to be a world-class professional, you don't allow yourself to be late to functions, and not only functions, even your deliverables going in late, your proposals going in late. So management of time is essential. Now, this also means that when you set up a meeting and you have other stuff part of your meeting, and you've agreed that the meeting is going to last 30 minutes, as soon as it's 30 minutes, close the meeting or reschedule and have another time. Because when you told me the meeting was going to last for 30 minutes, I scheduled other things after. But you know, in these spaces, in our part of the world, and that's why we cannot term being the best in Ghana as world class, because people will sit in meetings for 4 hours unscheduled, 3 hours unscheduled. It doesn't matter what other people have to do after that meeting. So far as we are in this meeting, we can live here till the next day. Management of time is something that we need to consider if you want to be a world-class professional. So it's important to manage your time, minimize other activities in order to fit into the 24-hour day. Because it has an impact on your work-life balance. Because this particular discussion we are having is typically a 2.5-day course. Within a 2.5-day course, we will administer a wheel of life. And in the wheel of life, you will determine, according to about 6 or 8 spokes, what do you call it? Your priorities on those spokes, on religion, your priorities on family, your priority on work, your priority on exercise, your priority, you know, and you find out that people spend lots of time probably with religion, with family, and little time with work, or lots of time with work, little time with family, lots of time with all of that, but they spend little time on themselves. You need to be able to create a balance. This is my best slide. You need to be obsessed with excellence. Obsessed with excellence. Because remember, mastery is saying that we want to be able to deliver at the best possible standards, the highest standards possible. If you're not obsessed with excellence, it gets to some places, it's okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. We'll get there. You know, yeah, it's okay. This one, small, tomorrow too will continue. You know, so seriously, we need to consider to be obsessed with excellence and make sure that we are always delivering at the highest standards possible. At the same time, self-confidence is essential, and not just self-confidence, collective self-confidence. Can you imagine if there are 6 professionals, all confident in their ability and the way they do things, and they walk into any environment? Everybody will feel their presence. So that is why it's not important for you to just build up yourself, but you build others along the line. Collective self-confidence is essential. Then at the same time, you also need to be ambitious. You need to be able to have some ambition that is tied to your vision and tied to what you want to be and where you want to be and what you want to be. Like I mentioned earlier on, there's nothing great or good in playing small. Look out and think of some of the big things that you can do and start working towards it. Be ambitious. Once you're at it, never give up. Don't ever give up. You know, there are so many obstacles that come people's way all the time that make them stop what they have been working on. There are so many things that will make you feel like giving up. There's so many things. I mean, coming from financial to emotional to stressful to your own inabilities and things like that, you want to stop, but don't stop. Because if you're a true professional, you will not stop till you are successful. So to conclude, I don't know what you see here. A lot of rubble, a lot of rubbish. But this lady, Hannah Johnson, she sees something different. So she picks whatever the rubble or the rubbish is, cleans it up, and then she begins to sculpt and shape it and work on it and develop it. At the end of the day, she ends up with an interesting piece of art. Why am I saying this? It doesn't matter where you are starting from or where your current performance is. That gap to being a world-class professional can be bridged. You only have to see it and start building yourself towards it. Building yourself towards it bit by bit. You can become a fine piece of art just like this one. So that is my story for today. I would pause here for any questions that you may have so we can have a bit of discussion before our 2 hours is up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martin Atafin. This has been very, 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 very insightful and awesome presentations. I think we would please, if you have any question you want to put in the chat box, you are allowed to do so. And if you want to ask an oral question, please, you can raise your hand and we'll call you to do so. But I myself, if you realize I was putting a lot of things in the chat box, I have been really, really, really impacted by this presentation. And the world is open for us now. We must take it. Yeah. So any question? I'm seeing insightful presentation. Thank you, Mr. Atafin. Amazing presentation from Mr. Nketia. Brilliant presentation. Then thank you for setting more fire in me. That's RD Chukudi lecture. Great. Hard truth, emotional maturity is a great deal. Very insightful presentation. Thank you. Okay. Please, any question? If you have a question, or the teaching was very, very on point, so everything is clear. Okay. Thank you for the hard truth. This is so insightful. Thanks so much, sir. Wow. Okay. Okay, so for GDA members, we have put the attendance form. We have put the attendance form there. Please ensure that you fill it. Ensure that please kindly mute yourself. Kindly mute yourself. Yes. So this is RD units.
Because I mean, I couldn't see.
Thank you, sir. Please, we need the recording. All right. We'll try and make the recording available. I can't see anyone's hand up yet. Okay, so the link will be resent. The registration link will be resent. Okay. So there's a question from registered dietitian Patrick Awuku. Can you please enlighten us on interpersonal skills? Because it looks like a stumbling block for us, for many. So, Mr. Tafin, this is a question from Patrick.
Yes, thank you very much, Patrick. And yes, and it's a very important aspect of the whole in the whole professionalism space. If you recall, I indicated that you need three key things. Some of the key things that I mentioned was the aptitude, the attitude, and your values. And so interpersonal skills falls in the space of the attitude. The aptitude is your abilities and the skills and what you have learned in life, your knowledge that you have. But in order to put that into play, the attitude is essential. Now the attitude is, and that is why that part is attitude is a 75%, and that is the relationship that you have with others. The relationship. Remember the other bit: mastery, chemistry, and delivery. The chemistry part. Okay. Now, why? What do you do in that space? There are people that you work with. There are people that need to appreciate you, to be able to come close to you, to be able to for you to be able to give them a service or deliver for them. If there's a gap between you and those people, it won't work. Now, a lot of the time, when we become professionals as we are, we probably have a certain chip on our shoulder, making it look like, hey, because I'm a professional accountant, these people cannot come close to me. Every day I'm wearing coat, so I'm not, But what about the people that you sit in the office with? What about the people that you have to deal with? In fact, what we advise is that you have to go the extra mile to be able to build bridges and build relationships with people, even if you don't want to, because it is part of you becoming a world-class professional. You also find that there are people who cannot break into your space or even reach you only because they feel you are up there and they are not. But those are the people who eventually give you the raw, the raw data that you work with to be able to do other things. So a lot depends on the professional to open up, to be able to reach out to others, to allow others to reach out to them. You have to have the skill of making people comfortable around you, making other individuals comfortable around you. Let me give myself as an example. I had to develop a skill that helps me to start a conversation although I consider myself a very shy person, I needed to find a way to start a conversation whenever I'm in a space of about 2 or 3 people. I will not let that silence go by. I'm more comfortable when I'm quiet and the 30 minutes has passed, but I'm thinking, when you start a conversation, eventually you find out that some of these people, there is something that they have that is good that you open your door with. So starting a conversation in such, maybe in some quiet moments, walking into the office of someone and finding something to raise a discussion. So I found out that a lot of the time, maybe a picture that is hanging on the wall can make me think of some question that will start the conversation. Or a recent football match that has gone on. Ghana won 3-2. In 80% of the time, the men if it's men you're dealing with, they're also interested in football. It will help you to open a conversation. The whole idea is to just open the conversation and help people to be comfortable around you. But all I'm saying is that even with interpersonal skills, please be intentional with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Tapin. I think that is very, very welcoming. I can't see any more questions in the chat box. Sometimes from time to time, it happens like that when the speaker really breaks the thing down for us to understand. We don't seem to have much question. Okay. This is from Bright. Please, if you are a boss and there is always a fear of someone is against you, and because of that, you spread false information about others, what is the consequences of that institution? What is the consequences of that institution, please? I don't know whether, Mr. Tafin, I don't know whether it's clear. Said if you are a boss and there's always a fear of someone, there's a fear that someone is against you, and because of that, you spread false information about others. What is the consequences or consequence of that institution, please?
Okay, so let me start from here. In the first place, if you're a boss and then you think that somebody is against you, it also means that you yourself, you have a victim mentality. Maybe that person is not really against you, or maybe there's something you're doing that is not right. So you need to look at it and then check yourself out. But if you're going to have to spread false information about other people, that is the other aspect of it. It is wrong because you'll be lying about other people, and the consequences is that the truth always comes out. It will come out, and then you realize that you have egg thrown all over your face. So the best thing is not to spread any false information about anyone, But then also, if you think there's somebody who is against you, try and deal with that situation, confront the situation. If you're a boss and you are confident, confront the situation and then find out whether that person really does not like you or not and deal with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is from Pelbansa. And this is from Idrisu, a very insightful presentation. Great. All right. So it seems we are satisfied since there are no oral questions and there are no more questions in the chat box. We want to say a very, very, very big thank you once again to you, Mr. Martin Atafin. We know that if Gant was to pay, it would have been a huge amount of money. Thank you for agreeing to do this presentation for us at almost free. Almost free. We are so grateful. Please, we had the credentials of Mr. Atafin. If your hospital want to do any program, human resource management, and people development planning, his company is able to take that up and do it. You can recommend him. AfriConsult, Mr. Martin Atafin. So your churches, your mosque, anywhere you find yourself that you will need professionals to help you for anything, please do your best to remember him in your deliberations, and he will be of great help to you. Mr. Atafin, thank you. Thank you once again. We are most grateful. I don't know whether you would have any concluding remarks before we take our closing prayer and disperse.
Oh, okay, no, you're most welcome. But thank you for the opportunity to be able to present. I had a slide that I took out, which indicates that when you teach, you actually learn more. So, I mean, I also have benefited from this. So I just want to thank you as well. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so I would like to just do a random picking for someone to give us the closing prayer. RD Mensah, please, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Yes, please. Can you kindly give us the closing prayer?
All right. Okay, shall we pray? We are grateful, Lord, for bringing us to the end of this training. It has been so insightful, and we know that, Lord, the seed of knowledge that you have birthed forth in us will indeed bring out the fruits of a world-class professional that we all desire to be. We thank you, Lord, for the prayer. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. So we bring our insightful discussion to a close. I know Mr. Atafin will come again. You know, he talked about PDP. Someone was asking what that is about. That's also another personal development plan, a whole lecture on its own. So we'll see going forward how we can bring these ones in. So everything we require to put together to become world-class professionals will be in place. Thank you for joining us. And we will be online for about 5 minutes. If you have not filled your form, please kindly do so. Then if you want to give a shout out to anyone, please kindly do so. Then we will close in the next 5 minutes. Auntie Genevieve, RD Genevieve Autry, good evening. Nice to see you. Juliana. Yeah, so if you have any shout out to give, you can please do. You can please do. I hope all of you have filled your forms.
Howdy, Prince.
Yes, sir.
Please, can you resend it?
I've resent the link, please.
Please resend. Thank you very much.
I just did. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, right now we just came on. Okay.
I just did. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh.
Shout out to RD Jonah.
Yeah, Franklin. Great to hear from you. Howdy, Jonah. Will you respond to your shout out?
Howdy, Prince. Don't mind this mischief boy.
Howdy, Celestine. Dr. Steiner-Asiedu. God bless all of you for joining.
Thank you.
Dr. Celestine.
Hello, Hardy.
Yes.
Hardy Prince. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
And good afternoon to everybody. I'm sorry,
Great.
I'm struggling to fill the form, but I don't know if it's from my side.
Oh, but are you able to open?
Google is not allowing me to complete the form. I'm wondering whether it's my email that is having problem with it. I sent you a WhatsApp. I'm trying to get home to see if I can use my laptop instead of my phone to fill it. So I'm wondering whether it will still be active by then.
Yes, it will.
Okay. Thank you. But it's been a very powerful presentation. I realize I have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Between professional and
yes. And
the differences are too obvious. It's scary.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the program. It's very powerful.
Sure. Thank you. Juanita, yeah. Juanita.
Next time we have a similar application like that.
Yeah. Please, Bright.
Yes, sir. I said that I wish GAN can organize more of these presentations so that we can learn from it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, because I was asking about when there's a fear of someone against him and stuff. But the presenter said, the supervisor or the boss has to confront the issue.
Sure.
But in the confronting, is it going to be in a battle form, or because of the bosses, they have to fight physical battles when they are confronting? So my network was not good. So I had wanted more information about that. How do you confront it?
So in that case,
so
you
are
are the boss. Are you the boss?
There will be unity. Just a question.
No, I'm assuming, let's say, are you asking the confrontation by the boss?
Yes.
Yes, the confrontation is not physical battle. Is that you should call the person you are thinking, maybe saying something, and sit down and discuss it as matured people.
Oh, okay. So that was my question.
No fight or rancor. Otherwise, the company will spoil.
Somebody don't break your head.
All right. Eric Anku, welcome for joining. Juanita, welcome. Derry, welcome.
Also, good afternoon.
Afternoon. Hey, Dr. Anso. Afternoon.
Today's presentation is quite inspiring.
Great.
Very, very
great.
inspiring. And the man also broke the thing down. So at least it's very simple. And then no matter how it is, you pick one or two things and then it will remain with you.
Sure. Thank you for the encouragement. And,
you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, we have like 1 minute more to go.
God bless you so much. I've really learned today. I've really learned a lot today. And we want more of this next time.
Great. Dosia. Great.
Yeah.
Powerful. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Please allow some time. We are filling the form. Please.
For the presentation.
Hey. Dosia.
Yes, please.
Sure.
That was very insightful.
Please allow some time to fill the form.
You have to eat supper before 6 p.m. You have to eat supper before 6 p.m.
Thanks for the presentation. That's it.
Great, great, great. Dr. Hayford, thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Jonah, great, great. Thank you for the feedback as well. Oh, Auntie Genevieve, you will not talk. Alice. Mayu.
Shout out to Auntie Genevieve.
Auntie Genevieve is not talking. Oh. She's putting therapeutic foods together. Wow.
Abedu, I greet you.
Emilia, I take him.
Boss.
I take him. Now meet you at the top class, world class executive level. Now, when we see you and your mediocre executive or mediocre professional, I should have asked.
Yeah,
Mr.
please. Some of us need a link again, please.
Hey, Bright, the link is finished.
Network hitches here.
The link is finished, though. I've sent it.
Yeah, thank you. I did that.
Hello.
Ivan.
I greet you all. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I greet you. I greet my boss, Emilia. I greet her.
Hey,
Emilia. Emilia the boss.
Yes.
Pastor Bedu.
Boss
I'm
Emilia.
a small girl.
Okay. Hey, our boss is here. RD Hamdaratu, the chief.
Hey, Auntie Hamda, I greet you.
Chief Hamda. Okay, so it's now.
Greetings to everybody.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, Auntie Hamda. Insightful, very insightful presentation. Yeah, thank you.
It's now 2 minutes to 5:50. My supper is ready. I don't want to eat after 6. So
Are we invited?
Yes. It's a typical fancy diet. So 5:40.
Have a good appetite.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that should be a gun party for us.
Yes, very soon.
You use your supper for gun party.
Oh no, put money aside so we can do big party. Mine has only 3 servings of carbohydrate.
Then it's not enough.
Okay. 1 minute more, then we will be gone. Since some people will not talk. Hey, Elder Bismarck. Elder Bismarck. Are you there? Okay, so now the secretary is here, so I can run away.
Wow. Oh, you see, if not because of the car, I wouldn't have been. Yeah. Oh, yeah, problem.
Okay. So let's all of us have a very great day. and let's prepare for our next CPD topic. That will be on being the wellness practitioner. The wellness practitioner. So we'll come your way again very soon. Enjoy your evening. And please don't eat late. We'll come and measure your stomach, your abdominal fat mass.
The total calories.
You
can.
All right.